spirit of that speech prior to me. I don't know if I have anything else to say. But how beautiful it is when brothers and sisters are coming together, looking to each other, not as a black or white, Asians, Europeans, or Africans, but you're all servants of God, or in the language of our Jewish and Christian brothers, we are all children of God. How beautiful it is when all of us coming together to remember someone who, as a Muslim, reminded me about the most important figures in my own faith, Prophet Muhammad. That when he was appointed by God, many of Muslims misunderstood that he was coming only for theological purposes or ritual purposes. In fact, the factors why Prophet Muhammad was appointed because of social vices that occurred in Makkah at the time. Wars between ethnicities, between races, what you call al-qada'il, al-hurub al-qada'iliya in Arabic, for those who understand Arabic language. Dr. Abad is here today. Racism. Those who have tended to enslave those who do not have. Slavery is a normal thing happened at that time. Discriminations or gender discrimination in the term of the 21st century against the women at that time. But no less important, the reason behind why he was appointed prophet, because he wanted to bring together all people, Christians, Jews, black, white. So in the very beginning of his appointment, he was followed by an African guy called Bilal al-Habshi, a Roman guy called Suhaib al-Rumi, and he was followed by a Persian guy called Salman al-Farisi. Along with Arab people, they all came together, equally served as the servants of God. So my brothers and sisters, I'm here today to remind you that Martin Luther, the Reverend Martin Luther basically, reminds me from time to time of my own faith, on the importance of standing for justice and bringing the people together equally. It is a continued mission. It is not a one-time celebration in a year. It is a continued mission. And let me challenge myself and all of you that as Martin Luther has passed away, we have the dream that a lot of Martin Luthers are coming along the way. And all of us here today must be Martin Luthers on all grounds. Economically speaking, we see the gap between the rich and the poor, between the north and the south in the language of the United Nations, between the have and the have-not. Brothers, let me just remind you at the same time that until the day of judgment, you cannot eliminate poverty. In Islam, there is the concept of zakat. And that is just an understanding that poverty will be there. But the problem is, when people are poor, systemically or systematically, those who are rich becoming even richer and even pushing down those who are poor in our society. And it is our moral obligations, our moral missions, and we have to stand up together to fight against poverty. Not necessarily in terms of how much money that we have, but in terms of morality, we see how we see poverty in our society. Brothers and sisters, I'd like to leave you with this. As I mentioned in the mosque earlier, that the real binding between us basically is not that what sometimes we choose in life. I choose to be Muslim. My friend the Rabbi chose to be a Jew. Christians choose to be a Christian. But I don't think any of us choose to be a human being. All of us created human beings. That is the real ground to see each and every one of us, that all of us human beings have been created by God, equally dignified and respected. Regardless of the races, regardless of the social status that you have, regardless of the gender or sexual orientation that you choose in life, but all of you are dignified in the sight of God. And this is why God says in the Quran that only righteousness, and that is faith and good deeds. It is about vertical and horizontal relationship can determine someone, either that one is respectful or not respectful. Thank you so much.